In this talk, I will share ideas about generative UIs in relation to the OpenVO open source project. The overall aims of generative UIs are to create better starting points for new projects, faster ideation to prototype, which is useful for MVPs, and leveraging language models to minimize time spent on complex front-end processes. The short-term vision would be an extension of what OpenVO is currently accomplishing, that is generating components on the fly or even entire application boilerplates from simple descriptions. The midterm vision would be to have basic functionality like authentication, databases, APIs built in cohesion with the generative UI. The long-term vision would be self-generating complex software that embeds in any device, procedural workflows that integrate the UI and the logic within the same feedback loop. Early experiments I have done with the generative UIs used the Vite and the SvelteKit with Tailwind. The view to generate is described in URL parameters, and the components are streamed as they are being generated in the same page. The whole thing is less than 300 lines. It fits in a single front-end component, and it served as a nice little proof of concept for generative UIs. Last week, VO by Vercel was unveiled. Things just clicked, and the fact that it is closed access provided the incentive to start OpenVO. A few hours later, I deployed it open source. The process is simple. A library of components and icons is built from open source projects. A multi-pass pipeline makes use of the library and makes design prompts like description, augmentation, component suggestions, and this enables generation and iteration in a locked context. Here's a demo of OpenVO in action. The potential of the project really comes from a modular approach in multi-pass pipelines, so you will accomplish complex generations by plugging in all sorts of nodes into the pipeline, both at the level of the library and the generation. The Vite framework comes in handy here to extend the number of frameworks integrated with OpenVO, namely through cross-frameworks plugins, which would minimize porting time. And besides integrating new frameworks and expanding the multi-pass capabilities, future goals of the OpenVO project include multimodal generative UI workflows. For instance, the vision model currently in development will enable moving from Figma renders or screenshots into production very fast. And we aim to push the first major update for OpenVO this very week. So feel free to visit GitHub, to reach out on Twitter, and yeah, thank you.